Hello, everybody. Welcome in, friends, into the Truth Serum here. Joey the Truth Wagner with you, everybody. Coming up tomorrow night. Have a big matchup for the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. They are going on the road. Steelers have had some home cooking the last 2 weeks. Now, going to be away from Acrisure Stadium, back-to-back road games. The first one starts tomorrow night. Monday night in prime time. They'll be in the Dome against the Indianapolis Colts. And this is our game preview video. And to sort of help me break this game down, I have a Colts fan and a Colts YouTuber with me. His name is Cody, and his channel is They Bring the Juice Colts Podcast. Thank you so much, Cody, for being on with me tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite, man. I know we collaborated a couple of years ago when both our teams actually met something or were actually good, vying for playoff spot and whatnot. So I appreciate you having me back on. I know it's been a little while.
It has. It's been way too long. And before I forget, I just want to congratulate you on your big stream where you had Pat McAfee tune in and everything. Congratulations on that. I bet that was a dream come true.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, that was something where I thought, okay, we'll have a good amount of people in here, but never could have imagined. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, I'm a fan. I'm fanboying out a little bit. That was wild. So, yeah, it was definitely one of the highlights of the time we've been on YouTube. So, was very excited about that. Given the circumstances, though, not super obviously excited with where the team's at right now, but that was definitely a positive and a lot of negatives this year with this team.
Oh, I completely understand it, but we'll start with the Colts. We'll start with the home team. Would you like to sort of briefly tell our viewers how the Colts season has gone so far? I know it's been pretty rocky.
It has been, yes. Well, I mean, you go from Matt Ryan, who you bring over in the trade from the Atlanta Falcons. You trade away a third-round pick. Everybody at the time, national media, everybody said that's a good trade for the Colts, right? That's a good trade. Matt Ryan was in a bad situation in Atlanta. Wasn't going anywhere, and the Colts got him for a steal. And unfortunately, it hasn't really been doesn't have really panned out so far for the Colts, right? They have him for 2 years. Year number one hasn't necessarily been what everybody envisioned for Matt Ryan, in large part due to the offensive line. This offensive line, the highest paid unit in the NFL. And we know from a couple of years ago, what this Colts team was in that 2020 season. They were one of the best in the NFL, and now they're the worst in the NFL. I mean, it's crazy to say, but, and the weird thing is you've invested in some weird positions too. A left guard. I mean, your center has not lived up to expectations at all. I don't think there's a way he's back on your team, next year with his current contract. And your right tackle, all the guys that you paid big money to, and none of them, not one has lived up to their contract. And then you have two guys on the offensive line. One guy that's a second-year guy, but essentially a rookie. He didn't play his first year. And then you do have a rookie left tackle in Bernard Ryman, who has looked good in moments, but has certainly had his fair share of rookie lumps. So, yeah, this offensive line, far cry from where it was a couple of years ago. And I would say, honestly, Joey, it's really weird because I feel like this Colts team, they are extremely talented, right? They're extremely talented. You just look all over their defense. I mean, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. And their offense on paper, like you see some guys, you see Jonathan Taylor, you see Matt Ryan, you see Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and you see other guys who are starting to ascend too. But it almost feels like the offensive line at this point, and in some parts as well, the quarterback play, have hindered this team so much to where their defense can do all they want. I mean, a week ago against Philadelphia, their defense in the second half gave them 3 opportunities on their own side of the field, and they only got 6 points out of it. So, their offense has been historically bad, and it's really a bummer because this defense is a playoff defense. This is a defense you can win with, but this offense, it's far from that, man. So it's been a very frustrating season, a season where we see a lot of possibilities with this team. We've seen a lot of movement with this team, obviously, as well. Firing your OC, firing your head coach, that's a big deal. And, we'll see if there's more to come. Jeff Saturday, I think he's done as good a job as he could, given the circumstances coming in when he did. At least I'll say this team actually looks like they're trying now. For the couple weeks when Frank Reich was their coach, Some weeks it was like, is this team even trying? Do they even care? And at least Jeff Saturday starting to bring back some of that. But for me, Joey, I kind of look at this team like this. This year, at least, they are what they are. We know what this team is. They stink offensively. They have a good defense. And at the end of the day, if you can't get it done offensively, you're going to be where you are right now. And in my mind, I know there's still a few Colts fans who are holding on hope the Colts will go on a run here, but I'm more looking towards the future. That being, as you well know, with giving your team where you're at, you got to find your franchise quarterback. You got to do it. That's how you win, and that's how you have long-term sustained success, especially in the AFC. Has a lot of good young quarterbacks in it, and there's a quarterback class coming up. And so that's my mind right now. My mindset is like, I want to look towards the future now, and hopefully keep intact a lot of the core that you have. Guys that are living up to their contracts, maybe even exceeding those, because there are some good things. There are a lot of positive things. But yeah, that's where the Colts currently sit. They're still kind of in that quarterback purgatory, if you will, and it's not a fun place to be.
Oh, I can definitely say that the first year post Ben Roethlisberger era, it hasn't been kind, and like I said, the Colts season sort of sounds a lot like the Steelers season so far, where the Steelers, they drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round to be the guy for the future, and they also signed Mitchell Trubisky in free agency to try to fill as a stopgap, I guess, to try to walk the fine line of sort of somewhat winning now and being competitive. But Trubisky in the offense in the first month of the season, they completely fell flat on their face. It was a struggle to just get first downs. And it was basically what the Steelers have done the best at in the league this season, 3 and out. They love going 3 and out. I don't think I've ever seen Presley Harvin and that punt team run onto the field so quickly as I have at times this season. But in week 4 against the Jets, Mike Tomlin benched Trubisky, went to Kenny Pickett at halftime, and Kenny has been the quarterback ever since. There's been some positives with the offense. There's also been some rookie lumps too, as he is a rookie. Hence 3 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season. But overall, it feels like he's improving as the season has gone on. He has not turned the ball over in the last 2 games, so that's a positive sign. Steelers have started to get the run game going a little bit. That sort of started with the Saints game since the bye week, and they ran it well last week. So it's sort of, they're a team also in transition, like the Colts are, where you sort of look and you're like, how are they 3-7? They have TJ Watt, they have Cam Hayward, they have Minka Fitzpatrick in the secondary. If you look at offensively, they have Deontay Johnson and George Pickens at wide receiver. They have a good tight end in Freiermuth, a good running back in Najee Harris. How are they 3-7 with all this talent on the field? And sort of just like with the Colts, the quarterback play hasn't lived up to what we would hope it would be. But I'd say at least the Steelers are in a better position than Indy in terms of, we have our young rookie quarterback. We have the guy who we think will be around for a while and be the future and the present now and take the team to the next step. The Colts, I hope you guys find that in next year's draft, and I hope you guys don't go after another retread, because it feels like it's been 4 or 5 years now of retreads, whether it was Phillip Rivers or Jacoby Brissett or Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan. You got to go get the guy. Whatever it takes, get the guy.
Yes, that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been screaming this whole season. It's like, stop kicking the can down the road. And if this GM is not going to do that, get somebody who will. At the end of the day, you can find other positions a lot easier than finding your franchise quarterback. And there's a possibility you might fail. That's part of it,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like, at least you're giving your team and you're telling your team and your fans we care about the success of this team moving forward, and we understand what it takes to win. It's not always going to work out. But the way I look at it, I agree with you. I'm like, you do everything you can. If you fall in love with a quarterback prospect, you do everything you can to go get that guy, and you worry about it later. Like that. That's where I'm at with it.
So specifically looking at this game on Monday night, and I know both teams have talent all over the field. It just hasn't translated into wins. But what would you say from a Colts perspective would be the most important thing for them to be able to get a win at home on Monday night and sort of somehow not sort of get to the point where they're almost mathematically eliminated from the playoff race?
I think the biggest factor for them, and this is a tall order, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they have to slow down this Steelers pass rush. They have to. They have to figure out a way to limit TJ Watt, to limit Cam Hayward, to limit all these guys, because this is a very ferocious pass rush. And the defense, I would think with the pass rush, becoming better with getting TJ Watt back, this defense, even though statistically it hasn't been great this year in terms of passing, that certainly helps a lot. That changes things. So if you can give Matt Ryan proper time, I think he can definitely carve up this Steelers secondary. Because I know Minkah Fitzpatrick was out a couple weeks ago. I don't know if he's back quite yet or not.
He's back. He's back. What's insane is that he underwent that appendix surgery. Yeah. And he only missed one game.
Okay. I thought they said he was going to miss multiple games. I haven't really been following it that much, but
yeah, he is back.
Okay.
He's back. I believe Edmonds, the other safety, is also playing. I'm pretty sure other than Akilla Witherspoon, the Steelers corner, other than that, the secondary is pretty healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be interesting because the Colts just updated their, some of their injuries on Sunday, and it looks like Kylan Granson, who's been a really good tight end, he's doubtful for this game. So that's a big deal. Because he's been the best tight end in terms of receiving. He's been the biggest weapon they have from the tight end position. So if he's not able to go, that's definitely a hit to this offense as well. So we'll definitely see how they attack it. But yeah, I would say the biggest factor for me is definitely just somehow giving Matt Ryan some more time.
And from the Steelers' point of view, friends, I think the number one thing here is I'm not going to say you're going to stop Jonathan Taylor, but if you can keep him in check, keep him around 70, 75 yards, 3 yards a carry, don't let Jonathan Taylor run wild on you, because he's the best weapon for the Colts offense. And I think that if you're able to slow him down, I don't think the Colts offense is going to have much success, especially with a bad offensive line going up against Watt, Hayward, Ogunjobi, and Highsmith. The Steelers pass rush can definitely get home, and I think they can be capable at also stopping the run. If they stop the run, I think the Steelers have a very good chance of winning this game. And folks, I don't know how you would sort of think of this, but I think as of right now, and I'll sort of get your thoughts on this, Cody, but I'd say talent and all, I think if I was ranking quarterbacks, I think I would have Kenny Pickett ahead of Matt Ryan.
I think talent right now, sure.
Yeah, I think the Steelers have the quarterback edge, and in terms of how he's played the last couple of weeks, I would say they definitely have the edge at the game's most important position.
Sure. Yeah. But again, you just don't know what Matt Ryan you're going to get, because a couple weeks ago, he looked pretty good. I know it was the Raiders, but he's shown a couple times this year, if you give him time, he can still cook you back there. So I would say don't sleep on him. But he's definitely had his share of untimely turnovers for this team too. So many fumbles this year, just some bad decisions, some things that you're expecting from, a pro like him, a veteran, if you will, to make, like just to understand. And there's been some things he's just missed. He's taken some unnecessary hits, some unnecessary sacks. And it's just like, why? I don't understand the process of that, sometimes with Matt Ryan. So, but yeah, I mean, certainly Kenny Pickett, a rookie. I mean, there's a lot more talent there. He's at this point, Matt Ryan, at the twilight of his career. So, Yeah, no doubt at all that, the thing with, I think, Kenny Pickett is he's so young, you just don't know what you're going to get sometimes, right?
Yes,
That's the wild
definitely.
card, but certainly the ceiling right now is a lot higher.
Yeah, and sort of with how Matt Ryan, and you sort of said with the fumbles and everything, those are things that you'd be more willing to take and more willing to deal with a rookie quarterback than Matt Ryan, who's been in the league forever.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just really uncharacteristic. It's like, what in the world is going on? Like, this is not what you brought him here to do,
Now, everybody, it is the time that all of you have been waiting for. Game prediction time. Cody, who do you think is going to win this one on Monday Night Football?
Well, so I'll just go with the score that I had in our game preview. Pittsburgh, for whatever reason, you guys have had our numbers for years. I don't know what it is, no matter how good and how bad you are, vice versa. It doesn't matter. Like, you guys have constantly had our number. And so I just think, I think Pittsburgh has right now the talent to do enough offensively. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game by any stretch because this defense is still good. But I think Pittsburgh has more offensively and more potential offensively than the Colts do right now. So with that being said, I think it's going to be a close game because the Colts, they've kept most of their games close this year relatively. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh 16, Indianapolis 13.
Okay, defensive struggle.
Yeah, that's how it's been all year for us. It's been a defensive struggle.
I think that points will be a little bit of a struggle, and over-under in Vegas being 39.5, which is such a low number, so they're expecting the type of game we are. I think points are going to be tough to come by 2, and I will say Pittsburgh wins 23-17.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this team, the Colts have not scored. They've scored 20 points like twice or something. It's been bad. It's been really bad.
I'll say this, at least it hasn't been as bad as Russell Wilson in Denver.
Hey, that is true. I was somebody who was like, take the chance, but I'm very glad that I was wrong on that. And very glad the Colts did not listen to me. That's been an absolute disaster. And the good thing is, like, we're not tied to Matt Ryan, for long term. So I feel good about that, I guess.
Yes. You have to take the small positives this time of year. We're now in the Christmas season. We got to take the positives when we can get them, even when the win-loss column isn't what you would like to see. Some things to look forward to. I know there are probably some young Colts players that you're probably going to be looking forward to and excited to see them the rest of the year. And for us here in Pittsburgh, it'll pretty much be eye on Kenny Pickett, see how he develops, see how he plays for the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure we have our guy at quarterback, but just have him play more snaps for Kenny, the better, because even if he would fall flat on his face, you want to know by the end of the season if he's the guy or not, because the Steelers are going to be in a place where they haven't been since 2004, top of the draft. And if Kenny isn't the guy, I think he is, but if he's not, you're in a position to where you could draft the next guy if you wanted to.
Right.
But a lot of things to look forward to here, everybody, in the final 6 weeks or so of the season. Cody, would like to thank you for coming on. It was sort of nice to sort of return the favor. First time I was on your channel, this time you're on mine, so thank you so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the invitation, man, as always.
And have a wonderful time at the game tomorrow.
Yes.
Don't let Matt Ryan and don't let Jeff Saturday drive you crazy.
Hey, I'll try, man. No promises, but just more going for the experience, less about the game, I guess. I'll obviously care about the game, but at the end of the day, it's a game. It's for fun. We do this because we love it, and that's what matters.
Got that right. Well, there it is, everybody. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will see you right here live in the Truth Serum. Hollywood will be with me. Steelers and the Colts on Monday Night Football. For Cody, Joey the Truth Wagner, we're signing off here, everybody. Enjoy your week, and we hope to see you for Monday Night Football.